Hello and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where I'm in a good mood because I'm going to try a new puzzle by the great Nahileon. Nahileon is a terrifying setter, sort of one of those setters, I don't know, a bit like Glipperall, even J. Dyer and Fistamafel on occasion, where you know you're in for a battle. I've just realised I'm going to have a bigger battle. I've got the wrong glasses on. Oh dear, that's no good. Sorry, let me correct my glasses situation. This puzzle is called How Bizarre. I have no idea how difficult it is because on Logic Masters it's unrated. However, it has been recommended by a couple of people we trust dearly as being an absolute masterpiece. So we're going to have a go. Really short rule set today as well, and a really unusual rule set. We have never featured a puzzle with this rule set before. And yeah, I will read that rule set to you in a moment or two's time. I don't have much news. Let's just talk quickly about the Lord of the Rings Sudoku hunt over there on Patreon at the moment. It's a couple of bucks a month to join us on Patreon, this is Blobz masterpiece, themed on the Lord of the Rings, featuring the artwork. You can see some of it there, of the great Tolkien specialist author Ted Nasmith. And I think I was looking at some statistics last night. I think some 1,600 of our patrons have managed to solve the first puzzle in the series. There's about 10 puzzles altogether in the hunt. 1,600 correct entries already for the first puzzle. So very well done to all those of you who've had a go. Loads of you haven't had a go yet. Do have a go. You will get a great deal of pleasure out of this hunt. Yeah, definitely recommend it to you. Still got loads of time to enter the competition as well, which closes on the 20th. Other than that, I've just got birthday announcements to do. So let's start with, I'll start off with Anna, actually, whose birthday it isn't today. It's her birthday tomorrow. Over there in Denmark at the moment, turning 22. And I know it's your birthday, Anna, because your little sister Rebecca wrote to us, and she's sad that she won't be able to see you for the next 3 weeks. But is definitely considering the possibility of ensuring there is chocolate cake the next time the two of you get back together. So, Anna, I hope you have an absolutely brilliant birthday today. Oh no, tomorrow. Maybe you'll get chocolate cake from somewhere else. I wish you luck with that. Next, a birthday today, Alice. Alice, you've turned 29, and this message comes from your husband Tony and also your newborn daughter Ruby. So many congratulations, and I hope motherhood is going well, and that Tony gets you some chocolate cake. Next, George, you've turned 25 today, and I know this because your mum Liz wrote in. And I understand that, Liz, your favourite band is REM. I fully approve of that. Would REM be my favourite band? They'd definitely be in my top 5 bands of all time. You can tell I'm slightly odd by the way I arrange everything in lists, and I smash my glasses when I use my finger. Anyway, the two of you, George and Liz, often watch together. I love it when families watch Cracking the Cryptic together. It seems like a very sociable, very sociable thing to do in these internet and phone-filled ages. So George, happy birthday for today. And finally, Jill. Jill has turned 17. And Jill has, Jill's having chantilly cake, but the description of that, Jill, did sound okay to me, so I can give that a pass. It's not quite as good as chocolate cake, but I understand why you would go for your chantilly cake. And Jill has sent us a lot of pictures of her birds. Have I got some? I did try to make sure. Look at some of these. Now they've all got names, which I won't be able to tell you. But what I like about the birds is that, look, this one's definitely smiling. It definitely is. So it's fabulous. Look at that. And there were more besides. But anyway, Jill, I hope you have a great birthday today, and that you and your birds celebrate appropriately. Anyway, with that said and done, let's do some solving. Let's have a look at How Bizarre by Nahileon, and these are the rules of the puzzle. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply, so we have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. The circled cell is odd. Okay. Divide each grey line into at least 2 non-overlapping segments. Okay, so far so good. Each segment of a line adds to the same total. Additionally, each segment individually forms a set of non-repeating consecutive digits in any order. So what this means is that these lines can be split up into sort of little Renban segments, but also that the segments add up to the same number. So I don't really know how to show you an example of this, because I haven't really thought through how this would work, but let's say we split the line up like that. Then what we'd be saying is that each of these coloured segments individually sums to the same total. Let's say that's 10. Can we do 10? Well, we couldn't do 10. I can see 10 won't work. But there's going to be any, let's say 12. Let's say 12. I don't know if that works. Probably that doesn't work either. No, that's not going to work either. But anyway, let's say it was 12. These would add up to 12. These would add up to 12. These would add up to 12. And these would add up to 12. But then the second criteria would kick in, which would say those three would have to be 3, 4, and 5, wouldn't they? To be consecutive digits that added up to 12. That's the only way that could work. And then these couldn't. Well, 12 is actually a silly number to pick, because I don't think there are 4 different digits in Sudoku that add up to 12. I'm pretty sure there aren't 4 different integers that are consecutive that add up to 12, because if you start with 1 you'll get to 10, and if you miss out the 1 you'll get to 14. So yeah, so 12 was a very stupid total to choose, and I've learned something from doing the example. But anyway, that is how the rules work. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, I'm almost certain that we're going to have to work with these great sort of Stonehenge type pillars. Because if you're setting a puzzle like this, Nahileon is not going to have had the idea for this rule set by thinking about this line and how it could work. I don't think, anyway. I mean, let's think about that. If you have a short line, well, it can't be divided into 3 segments, can it? So it's going to be divided into 2 segments. Now, I mean, I can see, for example, that could be, that could be a 1-2 pair, and that could be a 3. That seems fine, doesn't it? But that, I suppose that could be a 2-3 pair, and that could be a 5. Or this could be a 3-4 pair, and that could be a 7. Or this could be a 4-5 pair, and that could be a 9. And the problem here, well, there's many problems, but one other problem with this is that this could all go backwards. So these two could be adding up to this digit. So you can see that if we were actually to fully pencil mark this line, it would be horrific. It would be horrific. So my first instinct is that, well, my instinct is that my initial thought was correct. It's something to do with these massive lines. Now, when I did the example, I could see that certain things weren't going to work. I'm wondering if it's something to do with the well, what I was going to say is it something to do with the middle segment? I.e., must there always be a segment that sits entirely within this column, for example? I'm not even sure that's true, though. I mean, probably this is impossible. Certainly it's impossible. I don't know. Not actually sure. Maybe it is impossible, but maybe you could do something like that. These would have to be a consecutive sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They would have to be a consecutive sequence. 5 different digits. I don't know if there is... okay, so I don't know if there is some sort of equilibrium that we could reach there. But it's kiboshed my idea anyway, which was, do I have to think about a segment that definitely only sits within this column? Because I'm not sure there would need to be such a segment. You can't repeat digits though, can you? You can't, well, hang on. You can't repeat digits within a segment because we have to treat each segment like a renban. But that doesn't mean we can't repeat digits within the line overall. But right, hang on, let me just think about this. So if you put 1 on a line, then the segment total for that line must be a triangular number. That must be right, mustn't it? So if, in fact, one of these lines must have a 1 on it. Because I can't put 1s in both of those squares. So at least one of these lines has a 1 on it. And wherever, let's say the 1 goes there. Now this is part of a segment. Now we don't know how long the segment is. It might be tiny, it's probably not, no, it's not going to be very tiny. But it could be, maybe it could be 4 cells. Right, here's an interesting thought. Yeah, it will be at least 4 cells, actually. And that's because there must be at least an 8 on this line, mustn't there? Yeah, okay, so what I'm thinking now is that the segment that this is, the 1 is part of, is going to form, depending on how long it is, if it's 4 cells long, it would be a 1, 2, 3, 4 segment, and that would add up to 10. But it couldn't actually be a 3-cell segment, adding up to 6, and that is because along this line somewhere is at least an 8, because even if I put 9, which is the maximum digit I could then leave off the line, there is now an 8 somewhere on this line. That 8 must be part of a segment. So if the 1 is not part of the 8's segment, it needs to at least reach the size of 8, doesn't it? And it can't reach a size of exactly 8, because if it's 3 cells long, it reaches the size of 6 with 1, 2, 3. If it's 4 cells long, it reaches the size of 10. So given it has to get to at least 8, the 1 has to be part of a segment that adds up to at least 10. But all right, hang on a minute. What about if we switch this round? If you had a 9 on the line as well, then the sort of top heavy segment would have to intersect with the triangular number segment, because the one we know is part of a triangular number segment, because however many digits are in the 1 segment, you know, if it's 5, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuple. If it's 6, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sextuple, etc. So this is part of a triangular number sized segment. But the 9 is part of a sequence that, depending how long the 9 is, it's sort of counting down but using massive numbers. So if it was a 2-cell segment, the 9 would be part of a 9-8 segment. If it was a 3-cell segment, it would be part of a 9-8-7 segment. But we know 9. Okay, so the 9 couldn't be a 1-cell segment, because we couldn't make the 1 we couldn't put the 1 in a sequence that would add up to 9. It can't be a 2-cell segment, because if it was 9, 8, 17, again, is not a triangular number. Yes, you need the triangular number to overlap with 9, 8, 7. No, hang on. This doesn't work. There is no triangular number that overlaps with. The triangular numbers are 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, 28, 36 and 45. Oh, it overlaps at 9. Yeah, that's where it overlaps. It overlaps where the 9 and the 1 are in the same segment. Okay, so it overlaps if you get to a 45, a sort of secret length, a length 9 segment. Sorry, I've used the secret there without sort of telling you what it was, but that is the sum. Something I only tell my very favourite people. If you're watching the video, you're definitely one of my favourite people. So then all the Sudoku digits, 1 to 9, add up to 45. So yeah, if the 1 and the 9 were in the same segment, then we do achieve balance in the force. But okay, but how long is this line? That's not going to work, because if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you'd be left with a 3-cell segment that had to also add up to 45. That's nonsense. Okay, so now I'm going to claim, this is big actually. Now I'm going to claim that you don't have 1 and 9 on the same line at all. And this is lovely, because that means this is a 1-9 pair. I hope that's clear. I'm just going to go through that once more. The reason you can't have 1 and 9 on the same vertical strand here is that if you do, the 1 is part of a triangular number sequence, and the 9 is part of a sequence that, depending on how long it is, adds up to either 9, 17, 24, 30, 35, 39, 40... Is it 40, 39, 42, 44 or 45? And none of those are triangular except 45, which is an impossible total. So the 1 and 9 can't both exist within this sequence of digits. So this is a 1-9 pair. And maybe we look at this one now. Although, actually, I'm tempted not to do that, because I'm quite interested to think about what happens if I make this a 9. Obviously this could be 9 as well, but I just want to explore what happens when we think about, because now there is an 8 on this line. So let's just put 8 there. There's a 1 on this segment, and there's an 8 on this segment. Now the segment size for the 1 is going to add to a triangular number. The segment size for the 8 is going to add up to, so it can't be on its own, because 8 is not a triangular number. 8 and 7 would work straight away. That's annoying. 8 and 7 would work, because that adds up to 15. And 15, if we put the 1 in a segment of size 5, it would work. 8, oh look, now this does, 8, 7, 6 works as well. That adds up to 21. So if I put the 1 in a segment of size 6, that works. Oh, bobbins, this is actually weird. What about 8, 7, 6, 5? That's 26, isn't it? 26 is not triangular, so that doesn't work. 26, 30 is not triangular. 33. Oh, 36, is that where it also intersects? Yeah, well, that makes sense. Yeah, it does. So a length 8 segment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, but no, that doesn't work. Because if you did have a length 8 segment that incorporated the 1 and the 8, you'd only be left with 4 cells on the line. And even if you combine those 4 into the same segment, they couldn't add up to 36, because 9, 8, 7, and 6 only add up to 30. So there are relatively few options for this line. It's either and this is the line with the 9 at the base. The line with the 9 at the base is either the segments either total 15 or 21. And if they total 15, that would be 5 cell segments. The 8, 7 would be 2 cells. So that's 7 cells. We've got 5 cells left over. You see, you could do that, I think, because 4, 5, and 6 also add up to 15. So you could have a 3-cell segment and then another 8, 7 segment. And I mean, just looking at this, I can see how this could work. Let me just play around with this for a moment. I could have 6. Well, actually, let's put the 8, 7 there. And then I could have 6. Oh, I've got to be a bit careful. No, you do have to be careful about how you do this. I could put this there. This. Oh, actually, maybe I can't do it. Oh no, it's 15, isn't it? I was thinking I couldn't do it, but now I might be able to again. I need to put a second 8, 7 in. Maybe you can't do it just because of the structure of the line. Because I want to put 2 8, 7s in. Or have I miscounted? This looks entirely impossible to me now. I mean, no, maybe I'm changing my mind again. It might still be possible. What about if I did? Do I actually have to put the 8, 7 at one end of the line if I want another 8, 7 on the line? I mean, this obviously has to now be part of either the 1 to 5 sequence or the 6, 5, 4 sequence. But if it's, I don't see how we could do the 6, 5, 4 sequence. That's what I'm struggling with. Because I always feel like one of the digits from 6, 5. Oh no, the 6 can. Ah. Yeah, the 4 and the 5 would overlap, but the 6 wouldn't. And now I could put 8, 7 here and 1. Yeah, no, it's okay, isn't it? You can do it. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking that the 4, 5, 6 overlapped with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they don't. They only overlap in 2 positions. That's Mark calling me. I will have to. How do I did learn this the other day, how to make a number go away. Yes, I pressed that button on the side. So, right. Well, is that good? No, that's bad, isn't it? That's bad what we've just discovered. Because what we've just discovered there is that it's possible to make it work with 8, 7, so a 15 total. So let's have a think about whether we can make it work with an 8, 7, 6 total. So 21 total. So we're going to have 8, 7, 6. And then we're going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total. And then we'd have to have another 8, 7, 6 total. I feel like that's too many 6s. So you'd have to have a 6 in this segment. You'd have to have a 6 in this segment. So there'd have to be a 6 here, there'd have to be a 6 here, and there'd have to be a 6 in there. I'm not sure. Maybe that works as well then. Okay, sorry. All right. So, okay, this hasn't got me very far. I'm going to try the other way round. All right. So let's imagine that there was a 1 here, and then we're thinking about. Yeah. Okay. So here is an interesting thought. Now the line that has 1 at the bottom of it now definitely has 9 on the line. So we know that the segment total that we're getting for this line is a number that's either 9 or 9 plus 8 or 9 plus 8 plus 7, etc., etc., or 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6. But there is also a 2 on this line, isn't there? And wherever that 2 lives, we know that that 2 is not part of a segment that contains a 1. Because if it is, the 9, 8, 7, 6 number is never intersecting with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 number, because that's how we prove that we didn't have 1 and 9 on the same line. So actually what we're doing now is comparing the 9, 8, 7, 6 number with the triangular numbers minus 1, because this sequence doesn't contain a 1. Right, so what does that mean the possibilities are? it's probably best looking at this, aren't we? So 9 on its own would work, because that could go with 2, 3, 4. Although no, that won't work, will it? Because there's going to be too many 2s, 3s and 4s on this line, because effectively what we're saying is that the only digits we could then put... I know, you could have a 4, 5 as well. So you'd have to populate all... Yeah, it's still not enough. So if 9 was the segment total, these digits would be made up of 2, 3, 4, or 4, 5, or 9 only. And that, there's nowhere to put 8 or anything else on the line, is there? So that doesn't work. Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. So 9 is not the total, but 9 would have worked otherwise. 9 plus 8 is 17, but 18 is not triangular, so that doesn't work. 9 plus 8 plus 7 is 24. 25 is not triangular, so that doesn't work. 31 is not triangular. 36 is triangular, but that would be a very long... Hang on, but something has to work here. Wow, so this might be 9 as part of a 5-cell sequence, so 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, adding to 35, and then the 2 as part of a 7-cell sequence. How long is this line? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's okay. So that this line is determined. That's beautiful. That is ridiculously beautiful. So what we've now learned is that the line that has 1 at the bottom of it, because it has 2 and 9 on the line in that column, the 9 has to be part of a 5-cell sequence. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. The 2 is part of a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sequence, adding up also to 35. Right, so what was the overlap there? The overlap is the high end of the 2 sequence, so it's 8, 7, 6, 5. Right, so these digits, I mean, the problem is this could all be over here. But these digits have to be 5, 6, 7 and 8 in this instance, because we need 2 8s on this line, we need 2 7s, we need 2 6s, we need 2 5s, and we can't repeat those digits in one column. So those spillover digits have to live in the wings of this funny shape. Right. And I can deduce something from that which is rather beautiful and has absolutely nothing to do with this line. This is absolutely brilliant, by the way, Nahileon. This is brilliant, because now, what do we know? Do you remember when we thought about this line? We were considering whether it could be, so this is the line that has 9 at the bottom of it. We were thinking about whether this line could have an 8, 7, 6 total. But we worked out that if it had 21 as its segment size, it needed 3 6s into those squares. Well, that would mean there was a 6 here and a 6 here, and that's impossible now, because there is definitely a 6 on the other line in one of the wings. And that means this line is not able to be a 21 line, so it's a 15 line. And therefore, this line, well, again, we're going to be able to work out the winged digits, because now I know that the line that has 9 at the bottom, it has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has an 8, 7 sequence. And then it has 5 cells left over to make some summing to 15. Now, hang on. Could it be another? Could it be another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sequence? But that would put 5 overlapping digits, wouldn't it? And that's not possible. We can't have 5 overlapping digits because they would all have to go here. So it would, the only way of splitting up the other 5 digits is going to be into a 4, 5, 6 sequence and an 8, 7 sequence. Now 8, 7 is then definitely duplicated, so there's an 8, 7 in the wings. And there's a 4, 5 in the wings. That's what we worked out because the 6, 5, 4 sequence has a 4, 5 overlap with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sequence. Right, so this is the approximate state of the world, except that this could be totally flipped round. Oh, this is mesmerizing. Now we've got X-wings on all sorts of digits here, because so there's 8 X-wings. What do I mean by an X-wing? Well, because there is definitely an 8 in one of those squares, and there's definitely an 8 in one of those squares, ask the question, could we put any more 8s in these 2 rows of the grid? And hopefully it's clear the answer is no, because if we ask a very facetious question, which is how many 8s we're expecting there to be in row 1 of the finished puzzle here, well, we're going to say 1 8, I hope. There's only going to be 1 8 in row 1. There's only going to be 1 8 in row 8. So overall, those 2 rows contain 2 8s. But I know that there are 2 8s. I know there's 1 8 in orange and there's 1 8 in blue. So there are 2 8s in these 4 dominoes. So there can't be any more 8s in any of these squares. And that's sort of it's a weird sort of floating X-wing pattern that exists in the grid. And the same is obviously going to be true for 7s and 5s. Okay. I'm not sure what to do with this information. Is it... Sorry, I just hit the microphone there. That's probably going to be terrible on the sound. Is it something to do with this? Can I work out whether this is... This is either 1 or 9, isn't it? How does this work? Well, if it's 9, it has to be 9. No, it can work with 9. I was going to say if it's 9, it has to be... it has to be on its own, because if we add 8 to the 9, we've got 17. And how do we make those add up to 17 now? You can't, because they would have to repeat the 8-9 pair, and this digit would clash. So this digit would sit on... If this is 9, it sits on its own, and has to be opposite in these 3 squares, a consecutive sequence which would have to be 2, 3, 4, adding up to 9. So if this is 9, this is 2, 3, 4. Now, the interesting thing, though, might be what happens if this is 1? Because 1, we know, is leading to a triangular numbered sequence. And I'm going to claim that if this is a 1, it's got to be a 3-cell sequence. Because if it's 1 and 2, these can't also be a 1-2 pair, and they can't both be 3, so that doesn't work. So it's going to have to be a 3-cell sequence, 1, 2, 3 in some order. This would be a 2, 3 in some order, and this would be a 6. So what's the full panoply of digits then that we've got going on here? This is 1 or 9. Let's get rid of that for a second. This is 1 or 9. If it's 1, this is 2, 3. If this is 9, these are from 2, 3, and 4. I don't know, actually. Can't see how that's helping me. Five, 7, and 8, 4. Is there something more I can do here? 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Well, okay. Yeah, there is something I've seen. Where do 1 and 9 go in row 8? Well, they have to go in those squares, don't they? Because they definitely don't go in these squares, and they don't seem to be able to be those squares. So 1 and 9 go in these squares. But that means these squares have to include 6 now. I sort of feel like that's important. I can't articulate why. Well, no, hang on. Hang on, isn't that right? This is a 4. This is huge. This is, well, it's not huge. It's a digit in this puzzle, which I'm very proud of. Because look at this row and ask where 2 and 3 go in it. And the answer is I don't know, but they're definitely in those squares. So if 2 and 3 are in those squares in row 8, that cannot be a 2 or a 3. That has to be a 4. And that's a digit in the puzzle. So, but if that's a 4, this is not 1, 2, 3. So this is 9. Oh, this is gorgeous. It's so weird, actually. It's how bizarre. How bizarre, that's what we should be saying. So this is 9. This is now not 6. This is now definitely 1, and I think these are the right way round, these blues and oranges, because that's the basis on which I did them. So I don't have to change these. These squares are 4 has to be over. Look, this is going to be interesting, because in this row 4 has to be over this side, and that means 4 is not up there, doesn't it? Because these are, although they don't see each other in a natural Sudoku sense, we know these are the digits 4, 5, 7 and 8, because they are the repeated digit on this whole line. Repeated digits on this whole line. So, but I can't now remember what the 9 line has 1 and 8 up here, and so this is the line that has. I'm going to write 15. This is 15. This one was 35, wasn't it? This one over this side, because this is the one that had the 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 overlapping with the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So the segments on this side are 15, and there's a 4 over here, but the 4 is either part of a 4, 5, 6, or it's part of a 4, 5. Well, doesn't that mean that's always 4, 5 though? Because it could be part of 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. And then we put the 4, 5, 6 up there somewhere. That's fine. But the 4 here does not partner up with 7 or 8 in the same sequence. So this is 4, 5. Which means this is, well, this is good. I've actually found a segment. I think this is the first segment I've found on a long line. This is a 7, 8 segment, so I'm going to make it a different colour. This is not a segment yet, but there's no 5 in here now, so there's definitely a 5 up there. And I've got 6. Why have I got 6 in one of these positions? That doesn't look right. Why couldn't 6 have been here? Hang on, what did I do? Hang on, have I just gone totally crazy, I think? So I put 1 and 9 in. Then I put 6 in, which was nonsense. I don't know where I got that from. And I then decided this was 4. Okay, I mean, I think this is just an oversight from me. There could have been a 6 here, but I don't think I've used it for anything. Because I didn't remove a 6 pencil mark from here, and I didn't use it to justify that this was a 4. That 4 comes out of the fact that 2 and 3 in this row are in these squares, which I think is fine. So I apologise if I've made anyone cross as a result of that, but there's definitely, well, No, there is definitely not. Well, no, there could be a 6 in there. It depends what this is, but there needn't be, because this digit. Well, it depends. This could be a 6 if this is a 4, 5, 6 triple. Or if this is from the 1, 2, 3 section, this would be a 2 or a 3. And then this would be a 2 or a 3. And this would be a 1. No, okay, that's it. This is really good. This is a 6. Because imagine that this was part of a 5-cell sequence. Then it's 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. But these digits here both have to be 2 and 3 because they can't be 1. And then I'd have 3 digits in this box that are all selected from 2 and 3. So this has to be 6. This is not 6. This is 7, 8. So those 7, 8s are sort of opposite each other. Oh, I could have got this just by applying that up there. Oh, Simon. Silly Simon. Naughty Simon. Okay, so this is 2 or 3 now. That's weird. Ah! Okay, that's fine. It's weird but fine. Because what that tells us is that this is the sort of... Yeah, there's 2 sequences only on this line. One of them is 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Well, it's not that this one is not part of that sequence, is it? So this side must be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So these squares are 7, 8, 9. And that is a sequence. So we'll make that blue. We'll change the colour of this one because this is now a sequence. We'll make, oh no, hang on, I've used purple. I'll make it, could make it red. That's okay, isn't it? Or maybe orange. No, I've used orange. I'll make it red. So these squares now are the other digits. This one might be under pressure just by Sudoku. Because I've got, yeah, that's good, 5, 7 and 8, but I can't repeat 7 and 8 in the same sequence, so that's 5. Didn't we work, yeah, we worked out that was the 4, 5, 6 sequence here, so, oh, look, this is a 7, 8 sequence. We know we needed another one of those on this line, so this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sequence. This is so weird, it's magical, absolutely magical. That's a sequence. Let's make that a sequence. And now I think I've now run out of my good colours. But never mind, that's still good. Now, these... is this okay? Yeah, this is 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so this sequence needs a 4 in it. So that's there. So these aren't 4. This sequence needs a 6 in it. So there is a 6 here. So there's a 6 up here. This digit's a naked single 9. C's a 7, 8 pair. So oh look, one of these is a 9, but it looks like it could be in the circle. So these are from 2, 3, 4 and 6 because whatever's not used as red here has to go up there. So there's a 2, 3, 4, 6 quadruple. So these don't include 2 and 3. This is a 1, 5 pair. This is a 2, 3, 4 pair. These squares are now known. They are 1, 5 and 6 by Sudoku. That's a 1 in the top. Oh. Okay, so these are from 7, 8, 9. Well, okay, and that digit has to be a 7 or a 9. Well, at least we've got somewhere. This is fantastic, isn't it? Right, so now I think I can delete those, because I think I will now remember. Now I've got my segments delineated. I think we're in reasonably... Well, we're in slightly better shape than we were. The odd thing about this is that if you look at these shapes we've now drawn, I'm trying to see what I can do with them to sort of, you know, how they're resolved in any way, and Might mean I've missed some Sudoku here, but if I haven't missed Sudoku, I'm going to have to use these other lines, which is a slightly terrifying thought because they're all tiny. Okay. Because when I looked at this line, for example, we know that one end of the line is odd. I suppose that's something we know. Because the sum of the other two digits is going to be the sum of an even and an odd digit. So the sum is always going to be odd, and that's either going to be 3, 5, 7 or 9. So one of these I'm going to claim is 3, 5, 7 or 9. Don't know which one. I mean, if it was this one, it couldn't be 7 or 5, so it would be 3 or 9. But it could be this one. And the same is going to be true there. The same is going to be true here. So one of these is odd, and one of these is odd. Or maybe a better way of putting it is at least one of these is odd, and at least one of these is odd. Still, I don't think that's... And then we've got another line here, which is more like this line. Now, I don't know. Maybe we start with the 4-cell line. I don't see what I can do with the 3-cell line. I'm going to start with the 4-cell line. So the 4-cell line is... Well, can it split into a 2 and a 2? Surely not. Because, if it's split into 2 and 2, that doesn't work, does it? I'm going to have to repeat colours here, but let's say those and those. Now, the only way these can have the same sum is if they're the same consecutive digits. So let's say that this was 4, 5. This would also be 4, 5, but this square would see those squares. So this is not a valid division of the line. Now, the very annoying thing about this particular geometry is those could be the same digit, I think, because that is effectively just an extension of what we've just looked at here. This line is exactly the same dimensionally as that, isn't it? So if I made those two the same digit, and that means this line doesn't work quite the same way as this line. Well, or it might not. So either one side of this line is a 6 or a 9, with us having a 3-cell sum, which could be in either direction. This is crazy. This is too difficult. There must be some more Sudoku or something I can do here, because I don't see how I'm ever going to actually... Because the problem is, I mean, if that's 9, this could be 2, 3, 4. If that's 6, this could be 1, 2, 3. I'm looking at this trying to spot why this is wrong. I don't understand why. I mean, if this is 9, this could be 2, 3, 4. If this is 6, this could be 1, 2, 3. And we've got to overlay on those possibilities the chance that these are both odd digits and these are a consecutive pair. I suppose it couldn't be 9s here because this would break the 4, 5 pair. But this could be 7 with a 3, 4 pair. It could be 5 with a 2, 3 pair. Or it could perhaps even be 3 with a 1-2 pair. This is weird. Okay, let's try the circumflex. Is that somehow different? So the circumflex has... I just don't think this is under pressure. I mean, I must be missing something somehow. What am I missing here? 4 and 5 are down there. Oh, is it these digits? 2, 3 and 4. No, it certainly isn't. Okay, alright, let's have a look at the circumflex then. So the circumflex, the way this works is that one of its ends adds up to a consecutive pair in the other 2 digits. Now, if we put 9 in either of... Oh! No, I thought I was going to get 9 in this box. I'm not. But it could... Right, okay, that's a little bit interesting. 9 here means that 9 is in one of those squares. Now, I think it's right to say that you can't put 9 in either of these squares. Because surely if I put 9 there, this is a 4-5 pair. And that square cannot be 4 or 5, and vice versa. So that's the first minor restriction we've discovered, is that 9 is in one of those squares. Okay. Alright, okay. So the sum digit here is either going to be 3 with a 1-2 pair. I don't see what's wrong with that immediately. So 3 with a 1-2 pair, something like this. It can't add up to 5 because neither of these can be 5. Or it could be a 7 as the sum. So 7 would go into one of those, and that would be with a 3-4 pair. Now the 4 would have to be here, and these would have to be a 3-7 pair. Okay, so I might be able to say, not sure, isn't there always a 3 in one of these 2 squares? It's because either we're saying that it's a 3 with a 1-2 pair, in which case the 3 has to be in a tip, one of those squares, or we're saying it's a 7 with a 3-4 pair, and because we've got this 4 here, the 4 would have to go here and the 3 would go here. So there's always a 3 in one of these. Now that means this is a 3-4-5 triple. So maybe this line's going to be interesting in a minute. So if this is an 8 now, that 8 goes there. And then 3. This is 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's label this up. So we've got 1, 9, 2, and 6. This has got quite a, it's surprising actually. It's still very intricate, isn't it? So, all right, 9 is not at the end of this line because that would have to go with a 4-5 pair. 6 is even, so that doesn't work. Can't put a 6-7 pair adding up to a 13 or a 6-5 pair adding up to 11. So this is a low digit now. So this can't be 6 or 9. So this is a 1-2 pair. Okay, so this is a 1-2 pair. This has to be a 3, I think. Let me just think about that. There's no other way of doing that, is there? I don't think there is. So that's not 3. This is a 1-2 pair. So this is now a 3-7 pair, which means this is a 4. This is not a 4. or a 3 actually because of this. So this become 2 or 6. But I think that's just Sudoku-y stuff. Oh, that's a 2. Sudoku. So that's a 2. So this is a 6. Oh, please work. This has now become a 3-4 pair. Has that done more? Well, yeah, that's become an 8. That's become a 7. That's become a 9. That's become an 8. And this digit in this row is 6 or 9. That feels an exciting deduction. Don't quite yet know how to use it, but how do we do this then? Is it going to be that line or this line? Okay, hang on. Yes, where's 1 now in this box? Sudoku dictates that it is here. So that's 9, that's 6, that's 9. So now these squares, oops, I'm getting, oh, hang on. Okay, that's not something I have to worry about immediately at least. 2, 6, 8 here. That's 7 obviously, sorry I should have seen that before. And slowly but surely, okay, what I'm going to do is think about this digit, I think. Because this has got to be 1, 5, 8 or 9. Now, oh, it's very, oh no, hang on, I've got 4 here. Hang on. So 4 is in one of those squares. Is this 5 doing anything for us? Well, the thing I was thinking about is, could this be a 9? And I was going to say no, but I'm not sure that's right. Because if this is a 9, what I can see is we can't put 9 here and make these a 4-5 pair because of this 4. But if this was 9 with a 2-3-4 triple, that would be a 4. This would be a 2-3 pair. That might not work, but I don't see immediately why it doesn't work. So that could be a 9, I think. Now what about if this is 8? Surely it can't be an even number. I have a lot of difficulty believing this is even. Because if this is 8, how on earth do we make this line work? That 8 has to be part of a sequence. And we know it can't be an 8-7 there and an 8-7 there. And we can't make 3 different digits. Oh, sorry, I'm getting bombarded by. We can't make 3 different digits add up to an even number because they'll always include. Oh, sorry, I'm getting bombarded. Am I talking nonsense there? Well, we can't make them add up to 8. 3 different digits can't add up to 8. It's not triangular. And it's not, if we go 2, 3, 4, we get 9. So I don't think that can be 8. So I don't know if you can see that fly that just flew across, but it's a very annoying fly and it's distracting me. So this is 1, 5 or 9. Oh dear. And the thing is, if it's 1, well then do we know that's a 6? Is that what we know? Because if this is 1, it must be a triangular number we're aiming for, and it can't be a 1-2 pair, so it would be a 1-2-3 triple. And that would be a 6. That's what I'm going to claim. So if this is 1, this is 6, and this is a 2-3 pair. That's optional. That's the first thing we've discovered. Now, if this is 5, that's impossible, isn't it? Because if that's 5, what sequence do we put it in? Oh no, bother. No, if that's 5, that works with a 2-3 pair. Here, you just make that 5 as well. These are the same digit. Oh, goodness me, that's sickening. Right. So, But is there another way of making 5 work? My gut reaction to that is no, there's no way, because we can't make it opposite a 3-cell sequence. So this has to be part of a 2-cell sequence or more. And that's impossible. Yeah, it's impossible. Right, so 5 only works if that's 5. 9 can't be part of a 2-cell sequence. It would be 9, 8. That would make that 9, 8. That doesn't work. So this would have to be 2, 3. So, okay. Oh, this is ridiculous. Right. This is always 2, 3. That's what we've discovered. This is always 2, 3. So that's not 2. I don't actually know if that's going to do anything. It means... Oh, that's so upsetting. That's so upsetting, you know. I don't think it does do anything. How strange. So the... Oh, no. Here you go. This is what it does. It does Sudoku. Right, let's do Sudoku on column 2. Where we still have to place the digits 1, 6, 7 and 8. So that's a 1, 6 pair. That's not 6 anymore. And if that's not 6... Well, this is 8. Let's do that first. So that's 8. This is 8. This is 7. So there's an 8 in one of these 2 squares. And let me just come back here. If we're knocking 6 out of this square, that was with a 2, 3, 1 triple, isn't it? So that's no longer a 1. That's come down to 5 or 9. Oh, so I see. So 9. Is there meant to be a way I can detect which of these is impossible? I can't see it. Sorry, this is obvious. Well done. I don't know how to do it. It could be. This is always a 2, 3 pair. It's either 4, 2, 3 or 5, 2, 3. And that digit, whatever it is in one of those 2 squares. So if that's 5, it goes there. If that's 9, it goes here. And both of those look, at first blush at least, to be possible. Okay, let's do the rest of this row. 1, 5, 8 and 9. Just see if we can get rid of 9 from there. Can't get rid of anything from that one. We can get rid of 1 from that one. So 1, okay, so 1 is definitely over here in this row. So 1 in this column is in this one of these 2 squares. So there's no 1 now on that sequence. So that's probably going to be of relevance at some point, maybe now. Can we do anything better? Or have I misapplied the rules somewhere? Or not misapplied them, but underused them? That's more likely what I'll have done. Can't see where, immediately at least. So this line is going to be used to disambiguate the whole puzzle. That's extremely strange. 1 is in this domino. If this is 5, that's 5. That would be 6. That would be 6. That would be 1. That would be 1. If this is 5, lots of things happen that would be useful things. But if this is 9, that's 9. That's 4. You get a 2 or a 3 in the corner. No, or is there a way I know which way round this 3, 7 goes? Well, I mean, if this is 3, then I have to put a 3 up there, which would mean this one couldn't be 9. No, it could be 9, 4, 3. No, I'm wrong. Okay, so this isn't how to do it. It must be this line somehow, which, goodness me, I don't know. It really doesn't feel to me like it's under any pressure at all. It's not a 1, 2, 3 line. That is all I can think I can say for sure. So, is it a 5, 2, 3 line? Well, that's interesting. I might be able to say no to that. Because if it's a 5, 2, 3 line, where am I putting the 5? I can't put it here by Sudoku. So I'd have to put it here. And this would be a 2, 3 pair. And that doesn't work in this column. Does it? Oh, maybe it does actually. Oh, actually it's very powerful. Again, that's the sort of thing that might actually finish the puzzle, so maybe I've got to take that very seriously. 5 here, 2, 3 pair. It forces 4 here, forces 5 here, 1 here. Okay, so that seems possible, doesn't it? Next option is going to be 7 with a 3, 4 pair. Now the thing is there, I cannot see how there's any... Oh, I suppose 3. So the 3, 4 pair couldn't be here. So the 3, 4 pair would be here. This would be 3, this would be 4, and this would be 7. Okay, so it is slightly restricted. Okay, and so no, right, I've got something, I think. I can see 9 sees both ends of this. So it's not adding up to 9. So actually, this always has a 3 on it, because it's either 5, 2, 3, and the 3 is always here. No, it's still not doing it, I don't think. Well, it's doing something, though. That's always 3, and it's either 3, 4 adding up to 7, or 3, 2 adding up to 5. So this is not 3, that's a 2, 4 pair, so this is 1, this is 2, so this is 1. The whole puzzle seems to be moving about when I was doing my pencil marking there, which is slightly discombobulating. That's 3, no 3 in the corner for us. This is a 5 in the corner, that's a 4. This is now an 8. So this is now an 8. This is 5 and 9. This is 2 and 4. So we haven't put 7 and... what is it? 7 and 6. So we can do that. That's 6, that's 7. So that's 7, that's 8. Please, please, please keep going. Let's go. Oh, no, that doesn't work. Oh, no, no, no. Come on. Okay, there is a 2, 3, 4 triple in row 4. We might need to use that. We could also... what else could we do? We could find that. I don't know. I still don't know how this works. At least I don't think I do. Is it something to do with 8? Is it something to do with... may have to... I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Okay, so we're going to have to think harder. Which probably means pencil marking these squares, I think, because we've got this 2, 3, 4 triple. We need these other digits are 1, 5, 6, 7, aren't they? These squares here. 1, 5, 6, 7. Now that square's not 6. So there's a 1, 5, 7 triple. Oh, is that? It's okay. This is 6. Is that doing it? Well, that knocked a 1. Yeah, that's knocked a 1 down here, which is doing a bit more. So now this is a 5, 7 pair. Still, I don't think it's quite resolved. These are 2, 4, and 9. No, no, no! Don't be unkind now. Nahileon, don't be unkind. This square is a 7. That's good. That's a good digit to get. Because that means that's a 7 and that's a 3. So there's no 3 in the corner up there. That's a 2-4 pair, so that's a 3. And this being a 7, has that helped? 6 helps a bit. 6 and 2. Literally every digit is I'm taking as a win. 2 is in one of these 2 squares. And this column needs 3, 5 and 9 to be finished. So there's only one place for 3 in the column. And this is 5 or 9. And now we're going to stare again and hope. How can this not be resolved yet? It probably is resolved. I'm just not seeing why. 2, 4, 5, 9 here. Do I have to do this? I may have to be proper Goodliff. And then the fine... Oh, there's a 6 here. That's giving me more joy. 6, 5. Yes, yes, yes. That's 5. That's 7. So that's 2 by mathematics. 4. 2 on the other side. That might not be the digit we were really hoping for, though. But okay, now this is 4, 9. So this is 4, this is 3. This is 3, this is 2. Okay. This is 4, this is 9. Now, where is... Oh, that's 7, that's 8. That's 8. Okay. So these squares are, I want to say they're a 1, 2 pair. And therefore that square's a 9. Which means that square is not 9. It's still... It can't still be resisting now. It just can't. Where's... this can't be 9. Right, that's interesting. So I think 9 here has to go there. That seems reasonable, doesn't it? So that's 9, that's 9, that's 5. And if that's 5, then then this is also 5. So that's 2 5s here. This is 4. 4, 2, 2, 1, 1, 6, 6, 5. Good grief. And is that right? Whoa, whoa. That is an absolute masterpiece. It's taken me a while to solve it. Actually, the back end of it was quite difficult. To sort of unwind all these tiny little lines. But what an idea that is. The whole conception of these 2 pillory type things, and that they have a sort of balance and you can actually populate them, it's phenomenal creativity and brilliance from Nahileon, as usual. That is a world-class puzzle. It is bizarre. It is really strange that works, and it does. And it's an absolute phenomenon. One of my favourite puzzles of recent times, and that is saying something. So, Nahileon, take another bow. It is great to see you back. Let me know in the comments how you got on with this one. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.